Today we'll be taking a look at some stories from Raw involving Jeff Hardy and Alexa Bliss, as well as some comments directed at WWE's creative team from Mick Foley and Ric Flair. Before we dive deep into those comments, let's discuss this situation that fans are labeling as WWE throwing in the towel on Jeff Hardy. First off, before we get into Jeff Hardy, we have to go over a bit of history and backstory on the 24/7 title, so that you can truly understand the story here. The 24/7 title was introduced a few years back, and originally was a big deal. It's not so often that WWE introduces a new title, so when they announced that they'll be introducing a new title and that a legend like Mick Foley would be introducing it, everyone had high hopes and expectations for it. Was it going to be a mid-card title, a more upper-card title? No one knew at the time before the reveal. But then the reveal came, and the new title was basically a knockoff version of WWE's Hardcore title, a more watered-down and comedic version of the classic Hardcore Championship. The title was met with instant chaos, with the theme being that this group of superstars, mostly lower-card superstars, would chase after whoever was the current champion. That's how it's been since day one. The title can switch hands at any time, so the current champion always had to pay attention to their surroundings and run away from the group of superstars. So right off the bat, it wasn't meant to be taken as a serious title. It's just a comedic relief sort of championship. It's just meant to be goofy and fun, we get that. And there were a few great entertaining moments from the title's history, mostly involving R-Truth, Carmella, and Drake Maverick. That era of the title was entertaining for sure, but the group of superstars chasing the current 24/7 champion was always your lower card tier superstar who weren't really being booked on Raw, and this was their only way of being a part of the show. It's just meant for your lower card and comedic characters. But an eye-opening moment involving the 24/7 title came on the September 6th edition of Raw, where Jeff Hardy was seen as a part of the group of superstars chasing the 24/7 title. And it was such a sad and horrible thing to see a former WWE champion and legendary superstar like Jeff Hardy be relegated to the 24/7 title division. You talk about embarrassing booking decisions, that right there has to be a part of this list. Jeff Hardy has been around for decades, so many iconic matches and moments. He played a big role in the childhood of a lot of current WWE fans, and so much more. Jeff is 44 years old. He's late into his career. Everyone understands that, and no one is saying to focus the entire show around him, but seeing his usage in WWE turn into chasing the 24/7 title is one of the most brutal things to lay your eyes on. He's out of place. He's in a whole other atmosphere compared to everyone else chasing the 24/7 title. That's just not him. That shouldn't ever be his role. There's a reason why guys like Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, and more never chase the 24/7 title. That's because it's beneath them. Now Jeff Hardy hasn't held a WWE World title in a very long time. But based off his career stats alone, he's still part of that upper tier of superstars. He has no business even being in the same frame as the 24/7 title. Everyone expected maybe a nice farewell arc for Jeff Hardy's final run in WWE. Maybe if you had built him up in a proper way, Hardy could have been a big opponent for even Bobby Lashley to face off against. Jeff is obviously full of ideas. He was previously talking about how he was so passionate about bringing his alter ego, Willow, to WWE to face off against The Fiend, and possibly even join Bray Wyatt. But that never happened. Jeff Hardy went absolutely viral on Twitter for that 24/7 title segment. His brother Matt Hardy even responded by saying that everyone just wants the best for Jeff Hardy. And that's exactly the point. No one is saying to put all the championships on Jeff Hardy, but just seeing him chase after the 24/7 title really does hurt. If that's all WWE has to offer him for his usage, it does seem like a no-brainer that he's going to head out as soon as he can and head over to AEW to be reunited with his brother, Matt, over there. So it's very discouraging to see Jeff Hardy now being a part of the 24/7 title, so it's probably getting to the point where we just have to wait for the Hardy Boys reunion over on AEW. In other Raw-related news, Alexa Bliss has bounced back into the title picture. Alexa Bliss confronted Charlotte 2 weeks ago, which was followed up with no appearance or mention of Alexa Bliss at all. So everyone assumed that Nia Jax would be the next big challenger at Extreme Rules for Charlotte, but that wasn't the case. WWE pushed Nia's title match to Raw, she lost, and Alexa came out again to confront Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship, and the match is now official for Extreme Rules. This match outcome here could be a bit hard to predict. It sort of reminds you of The Fiend vs. Seth Rollins from late 2019. The Fiend picked up one win and was put into the title picture. Seth Rollins had just won the Universal title, and WWE really wrote themselves into a corner, which led to an absolute mess. So there's definitely a lot of similarities to that 2019 feud here with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. It feels like Alexa Bliss can't lose, and that this is a must-win for her. But at the same time, Charlotte just won the title. She just had a one-day title reign. So is she really about to lose the title again? That's why it sort of feels like we're right back in that 2019 predicament of Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. If Alexa loses and gets pinned, that'll be absolutely devastating. She hasn't been pinned in well over a year. The only way to give Charlotte a big excuse for losing to Alexa would be if Alexa debuted a Lily-like alter ego, something that Alexa doesn't announce beforehand, something that Charlotte just wasn't prepared for, and that'll be what it takes to get Charlotte out. So when it comes to the whole Lily idea of will she or won't she appear, this is probably our last hope to see her. Makes sense for Alexa to bring out everything she has with the Raw Women's title on the line. So if we're gonna see an Alexa alter ego make an appearance, this seems to be the spot. So we'll keep an eye on that. Mick Foley and Ric Flair have gone viral recently due to their comments on calling out WWE creative. Ric Flair mentioned on oral sessions that he doesn't really understand what WWE is ever doing with their talent, Charlotte included. He said that he just never knows their intentions or plans with their booking decisions. Mick Foley also jumped in on Facebook to warn WWE that they have a problem on their hands. He had this to say: WWE is no longer the place for talents to aspire to. Part of it is because AEW is doing a great job of attracting great talent, proving talent, creating storylines. But part of it is a problem of your own making. I think the younger talents see the way that the development characters are cut, or left by the wayside, or by the way of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down, or even make a joke when they make their debuts on the main roster. It's not broke, don't fix it. If I was an inspiring talent now, I'm not sure that I would trust WWE creative that they would do the right thing with my career. Until that changes, WWE, you got a problem. What Mick Foley had to say there is true. If you're an aspiring talent, or even a recently called up talent, you may not have the full trust on this creative team to take care of you in the best way possible and help you reach your full potential. Mick brought up Karrion Kross, a man who was in the world title scene on Impact Wrestling, presented in such a huge way in NXT, but it has now been watered down so much on Raw that the character could come off as a joke sometimes. So he's got a great point. Even like with what we were just discussing, this creative team has Jeff Hardy chasing the 24/7 title. That should speak volumes as well. Hopefully things do take a turn for the better in the coming months. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.